Luther's Small Catechism with Explanation. The Black and Maroon edition, copyright 2017, from Concordia Publishing House. Seventh Commandment, you shall not steal. What does this mean? We should fear and love God, so that we do not take our neighbor's money or possessions, or get them in any dishonest way, but help him to improve and protect his possessions and income. Question 79, Part C of the Seventh Commandment. C. Acquiring goods by dishonesty, fraud, or taking advantage of others. 229, Psalm 37:21. The wicked borrows but does not pay back, but the righteous is generous and gives. Read about false measurements in Leviticus 19:36 and about trickery in 2 Kings 5:19-25. We fear and love God by looking after our neighbor's well-being, by helping to protect and improve our neighbor's earthly possessions. 230, Exodus 22:14. If a man borrows anything of his neighbor, and it is injured or dies, the owner not being with it, he shall make full restitution. B. Income and livelihood. 231, Philippians 2:4. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. 232, Exodus 23:4-5. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall bring it back to him. If you see the donkey or one who hates you lying down under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You shall rescue it with him. Read Genesis 13:8-12, 14:12-16, and Deuteronomy 22:1-4. Leviticus 19:36. You shall have just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. 2 Kings 5:19-25. He said to him, Go in peace. But when Naaman had gone from him a short distance, Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, See, my master has spared this Naaman the Syrian in not accepting from his hand what he brought. As the Lord lives, I will run after him and get something from him. So Gehazi followed Naaman, and when Naaman saw someone running after him, he got down from his chariot to meet him and said, Is all well? And he said, All is well. My master has sent me to say, There have just now come to me from the hill country of Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Please give them a talent of silver and 2 changes of clothing. And Naaman said, Be pleased to accept 2 talents. And he urged him, and tied up 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, and 2 changes of clothing, and laid them on 2 of his servants. And they carried them before Gehazi. And when he came to the hill, he took them from their hand and put them in his house. And he sent the men away, and they departed. He went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said to him, Where have you been, Gehazi? And he said, Your servant went nowhere. Genesis 13:8-12, 14:12-16. Then Abram said to Lot, Let there be no strife between you and me, between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, then I will go to the right. If you take the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, in the direction of Zoar. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. They also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who was dwelling in Sodom, and his possessions, and went their way. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram and the Hebrew, who was living by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and of Aner. These were allies of Abram. When Abram heard that his kinsmen had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men, born in his house, 318 of them, went in pursuit as far as Dan, and he divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them to Hobah, north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the possessions, and also brought back his kinsman Lot with his possessions, and the women and the people. Deuteronomy 22:1-4. You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep going astray and ignore them. You shall take them back to your brother. You shall not see your brother's donkey or his ox fallen down by the way and ignore them. You shall help him to lift them up again. What does this mean? Not only is the seventh commandment about actively doing something, but it's also about preserving your neighbor's things as well. And this is maybe a little more difficult. One is to not use dishonesty. And this is the way of, I call it the white lie of stealing, or the idea of I'm going to make a plausible case to get something that I want, but I'm not being completely honest about it just to either save face or to get away with something. So that's what we see with Elisha's servant Gehazi and what goes on with that. So be aware of that. That's kind of trickery in using and stealing stuff. The reverse, as we talk about, is the idea of protecting our neighbor's stuff. So our neighbor's possessions are important and we don't want to take them, but we also don't want somebody else to take them or to be for them to be misused by our negligence or our cowardice, if you would, for that. And the example I usually use in confirmation class is if on Halloween you see somebody trying to egg your neighbor's car, you don't say, well, that's my neighbor's problem and not mine. No, you take care of it. You see somebody try to break into your neighbor's house, you call the police. You go over and try to stop it if you can, or turn on the lights or something like that. You see something going wrong with your neighbor, you go and help. Be a good neighbor to them. This is one of the ways I think as Christians we can be great witnesses to people around us by being a good neighbor, talking to our neighbors, giving gifts at the time of Christmas and Easter just to say, hey, I'm thankful that you're my neighbor. Here's a present. Doing barbecues out in your cul-de-sac, hosting things for your neighbors to come over to be a part of it, talking with them, being a good neighbor so that when they say, oh, when something happens, I know I can call on that person, giving them your contact information. That's just your immediate neighbors. But that's also when somebody's alongside the road, they're trying to flag you down because their car's on fire or they're needing help or something like that. You say, oh, I want to be a good neighbor. I want to help them out because one, and maybe this is enlightened self-interest, I would hate to be in that case myself and nobody helped me. But two, you're doing this because the Lord said this is a good thing for your neighbor. And through this kindness and this good work that you're doing for your neighbor, they might see the Lord through you. They might be changed as well, and maybe even come to faith because they say, hey, if that's what a Christian is about, I want to know more about Christianity and see how Jesus has done this for us when we didn't deserve it. He did all things for us in his death and resurrection.
The Lord bless your day as well as your week.